I've always known my siblings were cruel, but watching them mock my life choices at our mother's 75th birthday dinner while she sat there, silent and knowing, was the moment everything changed. My name is Victoria, and I'm the middle child who gave up a 6-figure marketing career to care for our mother when early onset dementia began stealing her memories. Tonight, I'm standing in the corner of a rented hall I spent 6 months saving for, watching my sister Kaya work the room like it's her own personal red carpet. "Darling, you've outdone yourself with the decorations," Kaya announces loudly, adjusting her Cartier bracelet. "Though maybe next time we should host at Leblanc. The lighting here is a bit budget." I force a smile, remembering the 3 months I spent making the paper flowers by hand while Mom dozed in her armchair. Mom liked helping with them. "Oh, how sweet," Kaya coos, but her eyes are already scanning the room for a more important conversation. My younger brother Wade arrives 45 minutes late, designer stubble and all. He's wearing what probably costs more than I make in 2 months of caregiving. "Vic! Still rocking the Target fashion, I see." He air kisses my cheek. "Where's the birthday girl?" Mom sits in her wheelchair by the window, watching everything with those quiet, knowing eyes that still flash with intelligence despite the fog that sometimes clouds them. "Margaret!" Kaya squeals, clicking over in her Louboutins. "Don't you look fabulous in that dress Victoria got you from? Where was it again, sis? Macy's?" Mom's hand finds mine and squeezes. Even on her bad days, she recognises cruelty. "Actually," I start, but Wade cuts me off, producing an envelope with flourish. "Ladies and gentlemen," he announces to the room of relatives I barely see anymore, "Kaya and I have the perfect gift for our beloved mother." The room falls silent. I notice Remy, Mum's part-time nurse, watching from near the punch bowl with concerned eyes. "A luxury Caribbean cruise," Kaya reveals, waving printed tickets. "First-class cabin, personal butler, the works, because our mother deserves more than..." She gestures vaguely at the handmade decorations. "Well, you know." The relatives clap. I feel my face burning. "That's very generous," Mum says softly, her first words of the evening. There's something in her tone I can't quite read. "Well, someone has to make sure Mom lives a little," Wade laughs. "Can't expect Vic to handle it. She's too busy playing nurse and cutting coupons." "Speaking of which," Kaya adds, "we've arranged for professional care during the cruise. Time for you to get a real job again, sis. This martyr act is getting old." I watch Mom's face. Most people would miss it, but I catch the slight tightening around her eyes. She's not as far gone as they think. "Victoria takes excellent care of me," Mom says clearly, causing Kaya to blink in surprise. "Of course she does, but..." "I'm tired now," Mom announces. "Victoria, would you take me home?" As I wheel her toward the exit, Wade calls out, "Don't forget the cruise tickets." "Leave them on the gift table," Mum replies, without turning around. In the car, Mom reaches over and pats my hand. "You saw the gift receipt in the trash, didn't you?" I start. "What?" "The cruise. They booked it using my credit card. I found the statement last week." My hands tighten on the steering wheel. "Mum, It's all right, dear." She smiles that knowing smile again. Sometimes the quietest person in the room is the one really paying attention. We drive in silence for a while before she speaks again. "You know, Victoria, karma doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers." Looking at her profile in the gathering dusk, I realise she's more present than she's been in weeks. There's something behind that tired smile of hers. Something that makes me think this birthday dinner wasn't just an ending, it was a beginning. "They think kindness is weakness," she murmurs, almost to herself. "They're about to learn how wrong they are." I didn't know it then, but those words would echo in my mind for months to come, because that's when I knew something was coming. Something that would change everything. A week after the birthday disaster, I found Mom slumped over her morning coffee. The paramedics said it was a minor stroke, but those words still hit like a sledgehammer to the chest. "She's stable," Dr. Patterson assured me in the hospital corridor, "but she'll need extra care for a while." I called Kaya and Wade immediately. Their responses were predictably different, yet equally useless. "I have 3 house closings this week," Kaya sighed dramatically. "But I'll try to fly in next weekend. Has anyone contacted her financial advisor? We should review her accounts while she's, Wade's voice crackled from somewhere in Europe. "Shit timing, sis. I'm in the middle of a huge crypto deal. Keep me posted, though." That evening, while Mom slept peacefully in her hospital bed, I went home to gather some of her things. In her bedroom, everything was exactly as we'd left it that morning. Her reading glasses on the nightstand, yesterday's crossword puzzle half finished. As I collected her favourite nightgown, my hand brushed against something in the drawer. A sealed envelope addressed to Ralph Lawson, attorney at law. My heart stopped. Below the address was a single line in Mom's neat handwriting. To be opened only in the event of my death or incapacitation. The phone felt heavy in my hand as I dialed the number printed on the envelope. Ralph Lawson's office, a crisp voice answered. This is Victoria, Margaret Hudson's daughter. I found an envelope. A pause. Ah, Victoria. Your mother mentioned you'd be calling eventually. How is Margaret? She had a stroke this morning. Minor, but... I see. His voice softened. She prepared for this possibility. Are you alone? Yes. Check your mother's jewellery box. There should be a note for you. My hands trembled as I opened the ornate box. Inside, beneath her pearl necklace, lay a folded piece of paper. My dearest Victoria, I read aloud, my voice catching. If you're reading this, something has happened to me. 3 months ago, I made changes, important ones. Don't let them hurt you again. All my love, Mom. Victoria? Ralph's voice brought me back. Your mother came to see me 12 weeks ago. She was absolutely clear-minded, with 2 independent medical evaluations to prove it. She wanted to change her will. The room seemed to tilt. Change it how? She left everything to you. The house, her savings, all assets. She was quite adamant about it. I sank onto Mum's bed. But Kaya and Wade will receive token amounts only. Your mother said, and I quote, they've taken enough already. A text from Kaya lit up my phone. Found Mom's investment advisor's number. Meeting him tomorrow. You should come if you can get away from nurse duty. They're already circling, I whispered. Your mother predicted this, Ralph said grimly. She left explicit instructions. Don't tell them about the will changes. Let them think everything's status quo. She wanted them to show their true colours. There's going to be a war, isn't there? When the will is read after her death? Count on it. His voice hardened. But we've prepared. Every document is ironclad. Every witness statement recorded. Your mother knew exactly what she was doing. After hanging up, I sat in Mum's room for a long time, looking at old photos on her dresser. One showed Kaya and Wade at her bedside after her first health scare, both posed perfectly for social media, both gone within an hour of the photo being taken. Another showed Mom and me in the garden last spring, soil on our hands, genuine smiles on our faces. No cameras, no performance, just us. My phone buzzed again. This time it was Remy, Mum's nurse. She's asking for you, and Victoria, she's very clear right now. She wants to tell you something. When I arrived at the hospital, Mum was sitting up, more alert than she'd been in days. Did you find it? She asked immediately. The envelope? Yes. She nodded, satisfied. Good. Now listen carefully, because I won't always be this clear. They think they're clever, your brother and sister, but I've watched them all these years. The cruel comments, the stolen credit card numbers, the way they've treated you. Mum, you don't have to. Yes, I do. Her grip on my hand was surprisingly strong. Because soon they'll try to say I wasn't in my right mind, that you manipulated me, but we know the truth, don't we? I nodded, throat tight. The quiet ones see everything, she whispered, her eyes already beginning to drift. And sometimes they're the ones who finally balance the scales. As she dozed off, her last words hung in the air like a prophecy, or maybe a warning. The rehabilitation facility smelled of disinfectant and false cheer. Mum had been there 3 days when Kaya swooped in, designer handbag swinging. I'll help clean out the house while Mom's here, she announced. We should start going through her things. She's not dead, Kaya. She's recovering. Don't be dramatic. I'm just being practical. She twirled her car keys. Wade's flying in tomorrow. We'll start with her office. Before I could respond, a familiar voice called out behind me. Victoria? I turned to find Nolan, and my ex-fiancé from 5 years ago is standing in the hallway. He looked exactly the same, down to the worried crease between his eyebrows. What are you? I started. I'm the new administrator here, he explained. I saw your mother's name on the admission forms and wanted to check in. Kaya's smile turned predatory. Nolan. What a delightful surprise. He didn't return her smile. Instead, he said, Victoria, could we talk privately? There's something you should know. Kaya's eyes narrowed. Anything you need to say to my sister? Should be said in private, he finished firmly. In his office, Nolan didn't waste time. I've been carrying this guilt for 5 years. When we broke up, it wasn't because of those messages. The ones that made me look unstable. My voice sounded distant. The ones that destroyed my reputation at work. They were fake, manufactured. He pulled out his phone, scrolled, then handed it to me. Kaya sent me this last year, drunk. She was bragging. The screenshot showed a conversation between Kaya and a friend. OMG, remember? When I photoshopped those crazy texts to break up Vic and Nolan, best work ever, she was getting too successful. Someone had to take her down a notch. My hands started shaking. She did this? I'm so sorry. I should have known they weren't real. But by the time I figured it out, you'd left your job, moved home to care for your mom. A commotion outside interrupted us. Wade's voice carried down the hall. Where's Victoria? We need to start going through Mom's papers. I have to go, I said, standing. But Nolan, thank you for telling me. Back in Mom's room, I found Wade and Kaya huddled over their phones. There you are. Wade looked up. We need Mom's house keys. We'll handle the cleaning while you deal with all this. He gestured vaguely at Mom's sleeping form. The house doesn't need cleaning. Don't be difficult, Kaya snapped. We're trying to help. Like you helped break up my engagement. The words hung in the air. Kaya's face went white. I don't know what you're talking about, she said carefully. Really? No drunk texts bragging about photoshopped messages? Wade looked between us, confused. What's going on? Nothing, Kaya said quickly. Victoria's just stressed. Speaking of stress, we should really look through Mom's financial records, make sure everything's proper. You mean make sure I haven't stolen anything? The calm in my voice surprised even me. Unlike using Mom's credit card for a fake cruise gift. Wade's head snapped up. What cruise gift? The one you two charged to Mom's card. The one that was never actually booked. Kaya said you approved that. Wade turned on our sister. You said, oh, shut up, Kaya hissed. Like your crypto schemes aren't bleeding Mom dry. While they argued, I noticed movement by the door. Remy stood there, phone held discreetly at her side, recording everything. You should both leave, I said quietly. Now. We have rights, Kaya's voice rose. We need to protect our interests. Your interests? Mom's voice, surprisingly clear, cut through the chaos. Like your interest in my credit cards, Kaya. Or Wade's interest in my investment account. We all turned. Mom was awake, her eyes sharp and focused. Mother, Kaya started, but Mom held up a hand. Victoria, dear, could you ask Remy to help me to the bathroom? And while I'm gone... Her gaze hardened. Please make sure your siblings don't rifle through my purse like they did yesterday when they thought I was sleeping. After they left, I found Kaya trying to photograph documents in Mom's medical file. Get out, I said. Both of you. This isn't over, Kaya warned, grabbing her bag. We're just looking out for Mom's best interests. No, I replied. You're looking out for your own, and I see you now. I see everything. As they stormed out, Remy appeared beside me. I got it all on video, she whispered. Every word. I watched my siblings' retreating backs, remembering Mom's words about Karma whispering. But now, I was starting to think Karma might need a little help finding its voice. You're manipulating our mother's weakened mind, Kaya's voice echoed through the rehabilitation centre's hallway. Everyone can see what you're doing, Victoria. I kept my voice level, remembering Remy's advice to stay calm and let them show their true colours. I'm taking care of our mother. That's all I've ever done. By isolating her, controlling who visits, Wade chimed in from behind his designer sunglasses. Real noble of you, sis. You mean by being here? Because the visitor log shows you've come exactly twice in 3 weeks. Kaya's perfectly contoured face twisted. Some of us have actual careers to maintain. We can't all play nursemaid forever. Mrs. Hudson specifically requested limited visitors, a new voice interrupted. Dr. Patterson stood in the doorway, arms crossed. She was quite clear about who she wanted to see. And I suppose Victoria made that decision for her? Kaya's laugh was brittle. Actually, your mother made that decision during one of her most lucid periods. We documented it thoroughly. Wade pulled Kaya aside, but I could still hear their harsh whispers. This is getting out of hand, he muttered. Aunt Sarah called me yesterday, asking questions about Mom's accounts. Handle it, Kaya hissed back. We need to control the narrative before... Before what? I asked loudly. Before people realise what you've been doing. They both spun around, faces guilty. Before they could respond, Remy appeared with Mum in her wheelchair. Oh, good, everyone's here, Remy said cheerfully, though I caught her subtle wink. Margaret was just telling me the most interesting story about her credit card statements. Kaya's face went pale. Wade suddenly found his phone fascinating. Would you like to share it, Margaret? Remy continued innocently. Mum's voice was soft but clear. I was telling Remy how strange it was to find charges for a cruise I never took, and designer boutiques I've never visited in Miami. Her eyes fixed on Kaya. Where you live? Mother, I can explain. I'm sure you can. You've always been good at explanations. Mum turned to Wade. Just like your brother is good at explaining why my investment account shows withdrawals I never authorised. The silence was deafening. This is ridiculous, Wade finally sputtered. Victoria's obviously poisoned your mind against us. Your sister hasn't said a word, Mum replied. She didn't have to. I've watched you both for years, taking what you wanted, assuming I wouldn't notice or couldn't understand. Kaya's phone buzzed. She glanced at it, then shot me a venomous look. Aunt Sarah's posting about this on Facebook. You've turned the whole family against us. No, I said quietly. You did that yourselves. We're trying to protect you, Mother. Kaya tried one last time. Victoria's taken advantage of your condition to... To what? Mum interrupted. To spend every day caring for me, to give up her career, her relationship, her life to make sure I'm safe and comfortable. She shook her head. Leave. Both of you. I'm tired. After they stormed out, Remy helped Mum back to her room. They'll be back, she warned me. People like that always come back. Let them, Mum said from her bed. I told you before, Victoria. They think kindness is weakness, but they're about to learn how wrong they are. Later that evening, as I was gathering Mum's laundry, Remy pulled me aside. There's something you should know, she whispered. Your mother told me months ago that she was afraid Kaya and Wade would eat each other alive over her estate. She said she had a plan to make sure they showed everyone who they really are. What kind of plan? She didn't say exactly, but she did say something interesting. Sometimes the best revenge is simply giving people enough rope to hang themselves with. My phone pinged with a text from an unknown number. Better hope she doesn't die too soon. I showed it to Remy, who immediately started documenting it. Keep everything, she advised. Every text, every email, every voicemail. Your mother's not the only one who can make plans. That night, I sat beside Mom's bed, watching her sleep. On her bedside table, a photo showed our family from 15 years ago, all of us smiling, seemingly happy. But now I could see the cracks that were already forming, the way Kaya and Wade positioned themselves front and centre, the way they'd already started pushing me to the edges. I see you now, I whispered, echoing Mum's words. I see everything. Mum stirred slightly. Victoria, she murmured, remember what I said about karma? That it whispers? A small smile crossed her face. Sometimes it needs help finding its voice, and sometimes... Her eyes opened fully, startlingly clear. Sometimes it needs witnesses. I thought about Remy's videos, the documented credit card fraud, the investment account withdrawals, and all the evidence we'd been quietly gathering. Karma might whisper, but soon it would have proof to back up every word. Mum's condition took a sudden turn for the worse on a rainy Tuesday. I was changing her sheets when Wade barged in, waving papers. We need to talk about power of attorney, he announced without preamble. I've had my lawyer draw up the documents. No. Don't be difficult, Victoria. This is about protecting Mum's assets. I smoothed Mum's blanket. You mean protecting your access to them? Look, he lowered his voice, glancing at Mom's sleeping form. Kaya and I are willing to be generous. Step aside legally, and we'll make sure you're compensated. Are you trying to bribe me? I'm trying to be practical. Speaking of which, he pulled out more papers. We need to discuss the cruise refund. My hands stilled. What refund? The birthday gift. The cruise had to be cancelled due to Mum's He waved vaguely at the hospital room. Complications. Kaya's been trying to get the refund, but apparently it needs to go back to the original payment method. You mean Mum's credit card? The one Kaya used without permission? His face tightened. There's no need to be dramatic. Besides, the charge wasn't that large. $12,000 isn't large. It was a luxury cruise. He ran a hand through his expertly tousled hair. Anyway, we just need Mum's signature to process the refund. No. Victoria. I said no. Get out. After he left, Remy slipped in. I heard everything. And you should see this. She handed me her phone, showing a credit report in Mum's name. They've been busy. Look at the new accounts. My stomach churned as I scrolled through charges. Designer boutiques, high-end restaurants, airline tickets, all in the last month. I've documented everything, Remy assured me, including Wade's little bribery attempt just now. Mum stirred, her eyes opening. Victoria? I'm here, Mom. They think kindness is weakness, she whispered, an echo of her earlier warnings. Then, with surprising clarity, did you call Ralph? The lawyer? Not yet. Call him! Now! Her grip on my hand was urgent. Tell him it's time for the second letter. I stepped into the hallway to make the call. Ralph answered immediately. Victoria, I've been expecting this. Mum mentioned a second letter? Yes. She prepared it months ago. I'm sending a courier over now. Don't open it until I arrive. An hour later, Ralph walked in carrying a sealed envelope. Mum was awake, watching with those knowing eyes. Margaret, Ralph nodded. Shall we? Open it, Mum directed me. Inside was a detailed account of every unauthorised transaction Kaya and Wade had made, using Mum's accounts over the past 5 years. Bank statements, credit card records, forged signatures, all meticulously documented. Your mother, Ralph explained, has been keeping records since her diagnosis. She knew they'd try to claim she was confused, so she made sure to document everything while she was still sharp. Does this help protect the will? I asked. It does more than that, Ralph smiled grimly. It gives us grounds for criminal charges if they continue their current behaviour. A commotion outside interrupted us. Kaya's voice carried through the door. I don't care about visiting hours. That's my mother, she burst in, designer heels clicking, brandishing a legal document. Victoria, you've gone too far. This is a cease and desist letter claiming undue influence over our mother. Mum's quiet voice cut through Kaya's theatrics. Undue influence? Like using my credit cards without permission? Kaya froze. Mother, Or perhaps like the investment account withdrawals, the forged checks. You don't understand, Kaya stammered. We were protecting you from what? Mum's voice was steel. From the only child who actually cares for me. Ralph cleared his throat. Ms. Hudson, I suggest you speak with your lawyer immediately. Why? Kaya's voice cracked. Because your mother has just filed a formal complaint about financial elder abuse. The police will want to speak with you. Soon. The colour drained from Kaya's face. She backed toward the door, designer handbag clutched like a shield. This isn't over. Actually, Ralph said, it's just beginning. After she fled, Mom reached for my hand. I'm tired now, she whispered. But Victoria, remember what I said about karma? That it whispers? She smiled that knowing smile. Sometimes it needs proper documentation too. I watched her drift off to sleep, thinking about all the evidence she'd quietly gathered while they thought she was losing her mind. They never realised that behind her quiet exterior, Mum had been building a case piece by piece, preparing for exactly this moment. The quiet ones see everything. And sometimes they keep receipts. Mom passed away on a quiet Sunday morning, holding my hand and wearing the faintest smile. Her last words were so soft I almost missed them. Watched them show their true colours now. Kaya took charge of the funeral arrangements immediately. It has to be perfect for social media, she insisted, tapping away on her phone. I'm thinking white roses, crystal displays, maybe even a string quartet. Mum wanted something simple, I protested. She left specific instructions. Oh, please, Wade interrupted. You're not in charge anymore, Vic. Time to step aside and let the adults handle things. I let them have their show. Mum's words echoed in my head. Let them dig their own graves. The funeral was exactly as Kaya planned. Elaborate, expensive, and photographed from every angle for her Instagram. She even hired a professional videographer. "For the family archive," she explained to relatives, dabbing at dry eyes with a monogrammed handkerchief. Wade worked the room like a politician, telling stories about Mom that never happened. "She always said I was her rock," he told anyone who would listen. I sat quietly in the front row, next to Remy, who'd become more friend than nurse over the past months. "They have no idea, do they?" she whispered. "None." The real show began after the service, when Ralph called everyone into the library for the reading of the will. Kaya perched on the edge of her chair, already scrolling through real estate listings on her phone. Wade lounged against the wall, smirking. "Before we begin," Ralph announced, "Margaret left a letter to be read aloud." He pulled out an envelope and began to read. "My dearest family, if you're hearing this, I've finally found peace. But before my assets are discussed, I want to share some truths. I've watched for years as some of my children treated my home like an ATM and my love like a burden. I've seen credit cards stolen, accounts drained, and kindness repaid with cruelty. But I've also witnessed true love, shown not in Instagram posts or empty gestures, but in quiet moments of care and sacrifice." Kaya shifted uncomfortably. Wade's smirk faded. "And so," Ralph continued reading, "I've made my choices with clear mind and full awareness of their consequences." "Get to the point," Wade snapped. "How much do we get?" Ralph looked up. "To my children, Kaya and Wade, I leave the sum of $1 each." The silence was deafening. "What?" Kaya's voice rose to a shriek. "This is impossible!" "To my daughter Victoria," Ralph continued calmly, "I leave my entire estate, including the house, all savings and investments, my jewellery, and a sealed personal letter." Wade lunged forward. "She manipulated Mom. She was sick, confused." "Actually," Ralph interjected, "your mother had 3 separate mental competency evaluations before making these changes. All documented, all conclusive. She knew exactly what she was doing." "We'll contest it." Kaya was already dialing her lawyer. "This is elder abuse." "I have here." Ralph pulled out a thick folder. Documented evidence of actual elder abuse. Financial fraud, unauthorized credit card use, forged signatures, all committed by you and Wade. Your mother gathered evidence for years. Shall I continue? The colour drained from both their faces. "This will is unassailable," Ralph stated firmly. "I've notarized every step before 3 witnesses. Would you like to see the police reports your mother filed about the financial fraud?" "You can't do this," Wade whispered. "Your mother already did." Ralph handed me the sealed personal letter. "The house needs to be vacated by the end of the month." "I'll sue!" Kaya screamed. "I'll destroy you, Victoria." "Like you destroyed my engagement to Nolan?" I asked quietly. "Or my career?" Mom knew about all of it. She saw everything. They stormed out, Kaya already crafting a social media post about family betrayal, Wade making frantic calls about moving money offshore. In the sudden quiet, I opened Mom's final letter. "My dearest Victoria." They thought I was losing my mind, but I was simply biding my time. Every cruel word, every stolen dollar, every moment they ignored my needs while you cared for me, I documented it all. You gave up everything to care for me. Now I'm giving you everything to build a new life. They'll call it revenge, but we know better. This is justice, served quietly, just like we always lived. Remember what I said about karma? Sometimes it takes its time, but it never forgets. All my love, Mum. Remy touched my shoulder. You okay? I looked around the library, now mine, thinking of all the quiet moments Mum and I had shared here. You know what? For the first time in years, I really am. Outside, I could hear Kaya still screaming about lawyers, but inside, there was only peace. Mum's final lesson. Sometimes the biggest victories come in whispers. The social media storm hit exactly as Ralph predicted. Kaya's first Instagram post appeared within hours of the will reading, devastated to discover the extent of elder abuse in my own family. My beloved mother, manipulated and isolated in her final days. Justice for Mom. Elder abuse. I watched the notifications flood in, remembering Mum's words about letting them show their true colours. Don't respond, Ralph advised during our morning call. Let them dig deeper. Wade's crypto bro Twitter wasn't far behind. When your own sister steals your inheritance through manipulation and lies, lawyers are already involved. The truth will come out. Family betrayal. By afternoon, Kaya was giving interviews to local news stations, crying perfectly mascara-streaked tears about how I'd isolated our poor, confused mother. Then Remy released her videos. The first one showed Kaya rifling through Mum's purse while she slept. The second captured Wade's attempted bribery. But the killing blow was the recording of Mum herself, clear-eyed and sharp, detailing years of financial abuse. Kaya's real estate agency called her that evening. I knew because she showed up at the house, mascara genuinely running this time. "They've suspended me," she choked out. "My biggest clients are dropping me. This is all your fault." "Is it? You posted those accusations. You gave those interviews." "Take them down," she demanded. "Tell everyone you manipulated Mum." "Like you told everyone I was mentally unstable 5 years ago. To break up my engagement." Her face went pale. "How did you—" "Mum knew. She kept evidence of everything, including your drunk text bragging about it." Wade appeared behind her, looking less polished than usual. "We need to talk about settling this quietly." "Why?" I asked. "Because your crypto investors are asking questions about where their money went, the money you transferred from Mum's accounts." He swallowed hard. "I can explain. To the SEC. Because that's who's calling now." Kaya grabbed my arm. "You have to help us. We're family." "Family?" I pulled away. "Was it family when you stole Mom's credit cards? When you mocked me for caring for her? When you destroyed my career for fun?" "I was jealous, okay?" she burst out. "You were getting everything. The promotion, the perfect fiancé, Mom's approval. Someone had to take you down. And now karma has returned the favour." Wade's phone buzzed. His face went ashen as he read the message. "The investors, they're filing charges. I have to leave the country." "Running away again?" I asked. "Like you ran from Mum when she needed you?" He didn't answer, just turned and fled. We later learned he'd booked a one-way ticket to a non-extradition country. Kaya's perfectly curated life crumbled within weeks. Her agency fired her after more clients complained. Her husband left when the financial investigations revealed she'd been stealing from his accounts too. I found her sitting on Mom's garden bench one evening, looking lost. "I have nothing left," she whispered. "No," I corrected her. "You have exactly what you gave others. Nothing." She left town the next day, her social media empire in ruins. The last I heard, she was working as a waitress in Miami, all her designer bags sold to pay legal fees. That evening, going through Mum's jewellery box, I found something that made my heart stop. A photograph I'd never seen before. Me as a child, asleep in Mum's lap, her hand stroking my hair. On the back, in her elegant handwriting, "This is what forever love looks like." Remy found me crying over it. "Your mum showed me that photo months ago," she said softly. "She told me it was her favourite because it showed the truth. That love isn't about grand gestures or social media posts. It's about being there, day after day, through the hard times." My phone buzzed with a text from Ralph. "SEC officially investigating Wade. Kaya's husband filing fraud charges. You were right to wait and let them self-destruct." "Mum knew they would," I replied. "She just had to give them enough rope." Later that night, I sat in Mum's favourite chair, holding the photo. The house was quiet now, peaceful without the drama my siblings had always brought. On my laptop, I pulled up the plans for the Caregiver Support Foundation I was starting in Mum's name, turning her legacy of quiet strength into something that would help others. The garden outside was blooming, just as Mum had planned it. She'd always said flowers need patience. You plant the seeds, tend them quietly, and wait for them to show their true colours. Just like karma, just like justice, just like love. The morning sun streamed through Mom's garden windows as I reviewed applications for the Hudson Caregivers Foundation's first round of grants. Remy, now the foundation's co-director, sat across from me, sorting through stories of sacrifice and dedication. "This one reminds me of you," she said, passing over a file. "Left her law practice to care for her father with Alzheimer's. Siblings abandoned them both." My phone buzzed with a news alert. "Tech investor arrested in Bali. facing multiple fraud charges. Wade's mugshot stared back at me, his designer stubble replaced by desperate shadows. Karma keeps receipts, Remy murmured, reading over my shoulder. The doorbell rang. I opened it to find Nolan, holding coffee and wearing that familiar worried smile. Thought you might need this. I saw the news about Wade. Since reconnecting at the rehabilitation centre, we'd been carefully rebuilding what Kaya had destroyed years ago. No rush, no pressure, just honest conversations and shared understanding. Have you heard from Kaya? He asked as we settled in the garden. Her husband's lawyer called. Apparently, she's been living in her car, still trying to rebuild her influencer career. She's down to 50 followers. And the fraud charges? She's taking a plea deal, community service, restitution payments, and mandatory counselling. Nolan touched my hand gently. How are you feeling about all of it? Before I could answer, Ralph arrived for our weekly foundation meeting. Victoria, we've had an interesting development. Remember those caregiving blogs you started? I nodded. After Mom died, I'd started sharing our story online. The quiet struggles, the hidden strength, the ultimate justice. They've gone viral, Ralph continued. Caregivers everywhere are sharing their own stories. You've started a movement. Mum would have loved that, I smiled. She always said the quiet ones need to find their voices. Speaking of voices, Remy called from inside, you should see this. She handed me her tablet, showing a new post from Kaya. To my sister Victoria, you were right, about everything. I'm sorry it took losing everything to understand what real love looks like. Mum knew. She always knew. Are you going to respond? Nolan asked. I thought about Mum's last words, about karma and consequences. No. Some lessons need to be learned in silence. Ralph cleared his throat. There's one more thing. The Foundation's first fundraising gala is next week. We've already sold out. Turns out there are a lot of people who understand the power of quiet dedication. Looking around Mum's garden, now my garden, I saw her everywhere. In the flowers she'd planted, in the quiet strength she'd taught me, in the justice she'd orchestrated with such patient grace. Victoria? Nolan's voice brought me back. What are you thinking? About something Mum used to say, that karma doesn't always shout. Sometimes it simply ensures that everyone ends up exactly where they deserve to be. The Foundation office buzzed with activity as volunteers prepared care packages for overwhelmed caregivers. Each one contained a note with Mom's favourite saying about quiet strength. My phone lit up with another message, a photo from Miami. Kaya, wearing a waitress uniform, serving plates at a beachside diner. No filters, no glamour, just honest work and hard-earned humility. The Foundation's first newsletter is ready, Remy announced. We're calling it Whispers of Change. Mum would have liked that. I picked up the framed photo from my desk, the one of me sleeping in Mum's lap. Next to it sat the Foundation's mission statement, written in her own words from that final letter. True love isn't found in grand gestures or social media posts. It's in the quiet moments of care, in sacrifice without recognition, in strength without spotlight. Nolan squeezed my hand. Ready for the board meeting? I looked around one last time, at the garden Mum loved, at the Foundation born from her wisdom, at the quiet victory she'd orchestrated with such patience. You know what Mum would say right now? I smiled. She'd say that sometimes the biggest victories don't need applause. They just need to be lived. The garden bloomed bright and beautiful just as she'd planned. In the end, she'd given me more than an inheritance. She'd given me her greatest lesson. That true power lies not in volume, but in validity. Not in show, but in substance. They laughed at my quiet life once. Now that life had become my greatest triumph. And somewhere, I knew, Mum was smiling that knowing smile of hers, watching karma complete its whispered work.